Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again today, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Shadow Online Gaming's Winter Tournament. This is another game in the group round. This is round, of that group round, I'll be honest, I have forgotten exactly which round this was. This was round 4, which I played against Wyvern, and I'm playing the Beastmen. Wyvern's playing the Lizardman. Let's pause things to take a look at it. Of course, you've seen the builds there, but just to go through them. Wyvern brought a very narrow build with a powerful air force. So he's got two horned ones. My voice just sort of whistled there for some reason. Horned ones, very elite Lizardmen cavalry. They do rampage, but their stats are obscene. They hit like trucks with very, very high armor-piercing weapon damage, and they have high armor and shields. He's got one of those on each flank. His center is only 3 Saurus spears with shields, so anti-large infantry, good melee defense, very low melee attack, even lower than the standard Saurus. High weapon strength, with some armor piercing and a decent bonus versus large. He's led by Lord Mazdamundi, Onslaught, so tons of HP, tons of armor, middle into low melee stats, does have poison missiles, and he has a Bastillodon with a Revivification Crystal for healing. Then in the air, he has 2 Skink Chiefs, which are fantastically annoying little bastards, to be honest, in the air. They have this rapid-fire blowgun. It fires 3 times in every 10-second period, and it does good damage every time, plus it inflicts poison. And they have 82 ammunition, so they can shoot a lot. Now, that 82 ammunition will go away quicker than it seems, because, of course, it fires 3 times every 10 seconds. So this is 4 minutes of continuous fire is what that is. And that is enough to lay a weapon on most people. I mean, 150 damage per shot, 82 shots, and it's about what, 12,000 HP total of potential damage, mitigated very heavily by armor, but still, it's a lot of damage. And then he also has 2 standard Pterodon riders with the blowguns, so they also have poison missile attacks. So a lot of airborne harassment. But a very narrow, sort of middling elite front line with a very expensive, very powerful lord. And on Lord Mazdamundi, he took the Ruination of Cities, the Bound Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Arcane Unforging, Apotheosis, Curse of the Midnight Wind, Harmonic Convergence, Net of Amontok. I think that's all of Mazdamundi's spells. Yeah, wow, this is a really expensive Mazdamundi. He also took the Sunburst Standard for missile resistance and melee defense. Greater Arcane Conduit, of course. Okay, yeah, this is a very expensive Mazdamundi, but very powerful and flexible. For my army, of course, I have 2 Centaurs with throwing axes over here. I had started off with only 1 and a couple of standard Centaurs for chasing down skinks, and then I thought, you know what, the throwing axe variant can chase down skinks fine, and they can also hurt dinosaurs, which is really what I needed. I've got 2 Harpies flying up in the air to do some counter-air skirmishing, hopefully. I don't have great hopes for them, but hopefully they could chase down Pterodon riders. My main line, in the center here, my biggest powerhouse is actually kind of a Minobus back here. I have 2 Minotaurs with great weapons and 1 Gorble. And for that Gorble, I've taken off Slaughterer's Call, but I did give him... He's got the Banner of Fallen Kings, he's got Deadly Onslaught, and he's got Foe Seeker. So he's sort of cheaped out, but he has the Banner of Fallen Kings, which will buff his own damage as long as he has... Once his hit points drop below 50%. So that will give him an extra pretty significant chunk of damage if he starts losing. My main line, I have 2 Ungor Spearman herd, just the standard cheapo ones, just for a little bit extra width. I have 1 Bestigor herd, and then I have Korok's Man Rippers, the anti-large armor-piercing Bestigor herd ROR. Very, very good stats, good armor piercing. They're just an excellent unit all the way around. They're really, really good. And then over here, deployed across the river, I have 2 Gore herds stacked on top of each other, and they are, of course, invisible because they are in the woods. So we were playing on this this map whose name I forget, River Vilu. That was it. And I was a little bit worried that he was going to go really heavy on skinks to take advantage of the aquatic and the water. Like chameleon skinks in the water are actually kind of bastards to kill. But I was thinking, well, I can take the forests. My Minotaurs have no forest penalty, so they can fight in the forests very, very well. He's going to want to avoid the forests, so maybe he'll go out here on the field and I'll kind of be able to flank and surround him. So, as the game starts, we're both kind of taking stock. The Air Force immediately heads over here to harass my Centaurs. At this moment, I can't see the horned ones, so I know he's got something hidden, because this is not enough army, but I don't know what, and he can't see most of my army. So I've got the Harpies moving forward to harass the Pterodon riders, Got my Gore Herd swinging in this direction to get on the enemy flank, and my throwing axes are kind of pulling back to reunite with the rest of the army, because I'm seeing this and I'm like, against that much air power, I'm not certain I can accomplish a whole lot. Harpies are going to swing over to join them, and I'm hoping that I can kind of draw these Pterodon riders into a trap. Meantime, I see Mazdamundi leading this relatively small group, and I see some horned ones coming out. So I go, aha, that's where his money is. His money is in elite cavalry. Oh, excuse me, didn't mean to move there. So I'm sending in the throwing axes. Going to do a little bit of skirmishing against the air units. Throwing axes are very, very inaccurate, but hopefully they can at least distract. And here come the Harpies in to attack the Pterodon riders. We're getting some throwing axe fire on the Pterodon riders as well. Doing a little bit of chip damage. Not a whole lot. The Harpies are going to swing back because it doesn't look like they're accomplishing much. We're taking pretty significant damage on the Centaurs, to be honest. Like, really pretty significant. Harpies are going to swing over this way to attack the Skink Chiefs, which isn't a good decision. They're just getting shot to pieces while they do that. And the Horned ones are swinging forward as well. I've got my Gore Herd over here. If the Horned ones charge into them, I'm like, I'll be okay with that trade. And now my units are starting to become visible as we swing down this way in an effort to flank. But now, this is the crucial play of the game, and this is actually a short game. I see the net of Amatok hit my Centaurs. I see the Horned ones coming out, and I'm going, oh, he's going to charge my Centaur throwing axes. But I have the Minotaurs, and Minotaurs are really good at killing even elite cavalry. These are large targets. My Minotaurs get their bonus versus large, and the bonus versus large of Minotaurs with great weapons is very high, 28. Their melee attack is over 60 against large targets. So I go, alright, I'm here for this fight. I am down to clown with this. Harpies fighting the Skink Chief, other Harpies chasing off the Pterodons. I should have committed both to that. But so as he charges in, my Gorbel and my two Minotaurs with great weapons both come in to support, and they are going to lay a tremendous beating on the Horned ones and, importantly, on Mazdamundi. He drops shield to the old ones. The other Minotaurs are coming in. The Horned ones are already taking damage. My Minotaurs are taking a little bit of damage too, but the Horned ones are getting it worse. And so is Mazdamundi. Mazdamundi is taking significant damage. My Centaurs are out of there, my main line is colliding with his, and my main line is better. My main line is simply superior to these three Saurus. So my Minotaurs are in here, and they are beating the shit out of these Horned ones, in combination with a Devolve from Malagor the Dark Omen, who I actually did not point out. Malagor is my lord. He's over here. He's got the Lore of the Wild. He's got Arcane Conduit, Traitorkin, Devolve, and Bray Scream. Honestly, to be perfectly honest, I just forgot to take Bray Scream off. I don't think I ever use it in this game. In any case, we got the Bound Banishment going on over here. My Ungor Spearmen are being routed. The Air Force has chased off my Harpies completely. They have routed because they suck. My Minotaurs are pulling out a little bit because there are some spears here that I'm engaged with that I don't really want to be engaged with. But look, they already did half damage to each of the Horned ones. Malagor is in the middle just beating the crap out of this infantry, in combination with his Bestigors who are chewing the Saurus spears right the hell up. And now, Zalak is a little bit isolated, so in come the Minotaurs again to put some pain onto him. And we do indeed get a little bit of pain. A nice Ruination of Cities way over here does a ton of damage to Korok's Man-Rippers and some to my Gore Herd, but my Gore Herd have now finished their Secret Agent mission and are sweeping in to completely isolate the Saurus Spears. All of my Minotaurs charge up to meet the charge of the Horned ones. Mazdamundi is getting away, but he's about to be isolated. We're bringing in the throwing axes and doing very, very nice damage to the Horned ones. Both are rampaging. My Minotaurs, it says they're losing, but they're not. They are absolutely not losing. They are beating the shit out of these Horned ones. We drop yet another Devolve. The Saurus Spears are actually routed by the leadership loss, and the Horned ones are just mutilated by the Minotaurs. So Minotaurs at low HP, but still have most of their models, and the Gorbel is perfectly healthy. Whacking on that Bastillodon with the Revivification Crystal. The sheer speed of the damage that this Brute Squad is doing is breaking the morale of these enemy units. You see, these Horned ones are just destroyed. The Bastillodon, however, had a lot of HP left, and he's broken just because of how fast the damage has been done. Same for these Saurus Spears. If this damage had been done in a grind-out infantry fight, they'd be fine. But as it is, the stacking leadership debuffs from taking damage, you can see here, yeah, damage sustained minus 48. That's what's doing it for him. That's what's put him negative. He's taken that damage very quickly. And now, poor old Mazdamundi is completely isolated. Minotaurs on one side, Korok's Man-Rippers to the left. You know, it's Minotaurs to the left of me, Bestigors to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with Zlok, and it's not going well for him. He is getting the business given to him, especially with this Gorbel charging him. And Lord Mazdamundi is going to go down. The balance of power is decisively in my favor. basically all that's left of the Lizardman army is the Air Force. Lord Mazdamundi dies, and that is the game. A very short and brutal one. So, that one went pretty well, to be honest. I'm very satisfied with how that happened. When I first saw those Centaurs get trapped by the net like that, I thought I might be doomed. But in fact, it turned out really, really well because what he charged in was Horned Ones. If these had been Cold One Spear Riders, they actually would have done better against the Minotaurs, or at least they would have done as well for a good bit less cost. I think he took the Horned Ones for versatility's sake, but I don't know. In this matchup, I feel like it really is the large units that are going to decide it. Like the Saurus can fight Beastman infantry, but frankly, Bestigors and especially Korok's Man-Rippers are going to tear through Saurus pretty effectively. Goreherds, not so much, but Goreherds are cheaper. Goreherds are efficient against Saurus, even if they aren't highly effective, if you know what I mean. So, I think it really is the large units, that decide this this matchup. And I think the decision to take 2 Minotaurs with great weapons plus the Gorbel was a definite benefit for me. I originally, when I built this build, I only had 1, and at the last moment, as we were readying up for the game, I went, you know what, I'm going to cut out some of my infantry. I had, I think, 4 Goreherds. I'm going to cut out some of my infantry and do a little bit of rejiggering and get a second Minotaur with great weapons, and that was a really good call. So, pat on the back for me there. I might sprain my elbow patting myself on the back this hard. But in any case, thank you all so much for watching. That was a very good match, and puts me up a little bit higher on that scoreboard for the tournament. So we'll see how things go from here. This is the 4th out of 5 matches in the group stage, so I think I should be in an okay place. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in round 5.